Hello everybody and welcome to Mamushi's review of Star Ocean First Departure. We all have tales in this world and names that don't matter because people call you what they want. First Departure is a remake of the original SNES Star Ocean and it shows, not only in the lack of fluid gameplay but the overall feel of the game. It seems like the developers didn't want to take any risks in the remake and keep it as close to the original as possible. Sometimes this isn't a bad thing, but when the characters lack personality and the story is predictable, you need to change a few things. I doubt there are limitations as far as the remake being on a handheld, because there are plenty of other games full of content and massively better graphics. It's a big shame as I enjoy the Star Ocean series, so to see this one being so lackluster is more than a bit frustrating. Let's jump into the combat. It's an action RPG, but just barely. You get to move around during battle, which is great, but to attack it's just one button. You can auto-lock onto a target, but not always the one you want to attack. You get special moves as you level up, but early on they take longer to execute and do the same amount of damage as your normal attacks. I run around in circles to test the variety of enemies, and after 15 battles in a row against bandits, I fought against two wolves who just happened to pass by. I guess this means the majority of animals are friendly in this world. Oh, what was my strategy against this new foe? Tap attack and win. I mentioned earlier about your name not making a difference, and this is how the game fooled me. The very first thing it asks you is to enter the main character's name. Great, I thought. Unfortunately, everyone else in the game seems to hate the name I chose and call me by the default name throughout. Some games have people call you by your last name all the time and recognise the first name in text only. Not this one, it just ignores it and leaves it as a save file name instead. The rest of the characters are as boring as the main character is though. They're all basic stereotypes of your mediocre RPG, not helped in the least by the terrible, dull voice acting. It's like everyone was falling asleep while reading the script. It's such a shame with this game, I can't find any standout positives to try and even recommend giving it a go for yourself. It's just a perfect definition for me of an average game. Nothing that will blow you away, but nothing that is shockingly awful. As you have probably guessed, Star Ocean First Departure gets a 5 out of 10. I can't stress how annoyed I am, as the Star Ocean franchise is a really good one. I guess there was just less care for this as it's on a handheld. I really hoped that this would have had more features added to it, but there's just not enough flesh on these bones. Sad times for me.